Hey, how's it going out there? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about when you are not required to take the test normally associated with becoming a U.S. citizen in the United States. My name is Rodrigo Canido. I'm an immigration attorney, and I do videos on how to get legal status in the United States, and I also discuss other topics with immigration. So if that interests you, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Alright, so just to put it into context, what I'm referring to in this video is for people who already have a green card for either 5 to 3 years and now are looking to become a U.S. citizen and naturalize. Normally the wait time is about 5 years for a green card holder, but that could also be 3 years if you got the green card through marriage. Okay? And in case you're not familiar with how that process works when you want to become a U.S. citizen after you've had the green card, first you would apply by submitting an N-400 application and all the required evidence. And then after that, you will be scheduled for an interview. And it's at that interview that you're going to be required to take those tests, unless you can get a waiver, which is what I'm going to discuss. Okay, so basically there's 2 tests that you have to take. One is the English test, and the other is the government and history test. So let's start with the English test. So you don't have to take the English test if you are at least 55 years old or older, okay, and you've been living in the United States for at least 15 years with a green card, okay? So in that situation, you don't have to take the test. Also, if you're 50 years or older and have been living in the United States for at least 20 years, you also will not have to take the test. Finally, if you have some type of disability or mental impairment that doesn't allow you to learn English enough to pass the test for citizenship, that also can count as an exception to the general rule. And I'm going to talk about that more later. All right. The other test, as I mentioned, is the government and history exam. All right. So you don't have to take that, again, if you have a disability or a mental impairment that doesn't allow you to learn the answers to those questions. Now, depending on a couple of different factors, normally you would have to study the exam questions, which could be 100 to 120 questions. Again, depending on a couple specific factors in your situation. All right. So, like I said, if you have a disability or a mental impairment and you can demonstrate that, you don't have to take that test. What's also interesting is if you're at least 65 years of age or older and have had a green card for at least 20 years, have resided in the United States during that time, you still have to take the government and history test, but it's actually easier. Because what USCIS or immigration will do is they'll give you an exam where you only have to study 20 questions and only have to get a couple of those right to pass. So it's much easier once you're 65 years of age or older and have had the green card for at least 20 years. Okay? So getting back to the issue of, not having to take these tests if you have a disability or a mental impairment. So there's actually a form that you can submit. The form is N648. All right, and the person who fills out that form is a medical professional who can diagnose you for your condition. And in that form, that medical professional needs to clearly explain why your condition does not allow you to learn what you need to learn, what normally most people need to learn to pass those tests. Okay, and USCIS is monitors that form very closely. Okay, and they're going to make sure that whatever condition you have will not allow you to pass those tests. Okay, so the medical professional needs to be very careful when filling out that form to ensure that you qualify and receive that exception to those tests. All right, so thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope you got something out of it.